Emer, and if you're new here, I originally set up this channel so I could share my self-sufficiency and preparedness journey. Subscribers will know that I've not done very well with either recently, but I'll do a bit of a recap on this year because there's been a lot of change and a lot going on for me. 24 has, I'd say it's been a good year overall. It's been a busy year. It's not quite what I expected. I think this time last year I did a video on 2024 planning, and I wrote out, my Filofax refill, and I planned my. I'd ordered a vision board, which I got printed out in large, and I did have ideas. I think there was a lot of images on there, sort of prepper related, gardening related, self-sufficiency. There was a big image of chickens, and yeah, certain things just didn't quite come to fruition. But yeah, overall, 2024 has been a much better year than last year. I did not enjoy last year at all. I think I found it quite mentally challenging. The career break was a big shift. Certain business relationships didn't work out. Things went wrong. But, everything happens as it's meant to. There was family losses last year, which was really tough. So this year was, like a bit of a breath of fresh air. I mean, I've written down some points of kind of what happened. January, getting Spud was a massive change to our lives. He's introduced us to lots of neighbours and people, which is lovely. This was stop and chat to more strangers than we ever have before. February, I handed in my notice at the civil service, decided I didn't want to return there at the end of my career break. Grateful for all the experience and the work experience and skills I learned there, but definitely felt ready to move on and really just wanted something local. I just didn't want to drive to the nearest city to go to sit in an office stuck on a laptop, And where I work now, it is very much, it's local, it's a short drive, or now I can even walk there. I did buy a bicycle pump because I would like to cycle to work in the new year. We moved here 3 years ago and we didn't know anyone, so it's really nice to actually feel more of part of the community and get to know people through work and that sort of thing. So that's been a really positive change. And it's a little Christian organisation that I work for. It's a non-profit, and that sits really nicely with my values. So I really like the organisation that I work for and what it does. In March, I met Mike, UK Urban Prepper Online. I've just put a note on that, and I think he had a big influence on the subscribers that he brought to this channel. So a big thank you to Mike, and introduced me to the UK prepper community, his forum, and it was just really nice to be more involved in the UK prepper community. April, I got to featured for the first time on a podcast, which was really positive. April was also the month I hurt my shoulder and then switched from bikini division to wellness, so took my training away from upper body to more leg dominant. In June I made the decision to switch, so decided I wouldn't compete this year, which was a bit disappointing, but actually I thought, no, I want to train legs, get bigger legs, and we'll compete in future, whenever that might be, still don't know. July we went camping for the first time in a very long time, first time camping as adults. It was a lot of fun. It was freezing, and then we later upgraded our tent, but that was a really fun experience, and we definitely want to do more of that in the new year. August, grew lots of tomatoes. We had lots of blackberries. We had a glut of blackberries. I used the dehydrator for the first time, which was fantastic. And then August was sort of the shift. So I used to do 5 hours work a week, and then they offered me more hours, and it went up to 3 days, which is quite a jump. And I think that combined with starting a business and the work and the networking and everything I do for that, life just became really busy. And I sort of reflect now, and I just feel like I've just gone back to full-time working. That's pretty much, the days that I'm not in working for the non-profit, I am working on the business, and there just doesn't feel like there's a lot of downtime. And that was never the goal. It was always about freedom and being free and time freedom and all the things that sort of come with being more self-sufficient. So I have failed a little bit on that regard, but I see it as a stepping stone. We will eventually move from here, and finances will be more manageable, and we will, in a way, like buy our freedom. We'll find the balance. It's coming. Whatever happens, we're always in the right place at the right time. That is what I believe. Whether you believe it's God's plan or the universe or whatever your belief system, I just think that I'm meant to, I was meant to take that job. And I really felt like, getting chickens wasn't the right decision for me. And I'm fine with that. I know I'll get them someday. It's just now is not the right time. And that's absolutely fine. I guess the big bump in the road this year. A few months ago, we found out a family member is very poorly, so we've been spending more time with them. So we visit every weekend, and that takes time when you travel to see family, and I don't regret it at all. I think it's really important to spend time with loved ones. Life is short, and there was a lot of loss last year, and I won't regret spending time with loved ones, and if the garden takes a back seat, so be it. So I'm really grateful that we've got savings and we've got our emergency fund, because sometimes life hands you these things. If I needed to leave work or pause work, then I'm really grateful I've got funds to lean on. So it's just, it's one of those things. We don't know what the future holds, but you got to make the most of it. Overall, I felt bad like from August onwards that I've not dedicated much time to the channel. Really sorry, and I've sort of ended up dropping out of prepper chats, and I've not been on the forum in months. I don't even get time to watch other preppers' videos, so it's not because I don't want to. It's just that it's down the priority list, sadly. It's one of those things. And then I also committed to the Bible in a Year podcast. I see it as a challenge. I know it's not a challenge, but that's quite time consuming as well. And I'm always falling behind. So if I miss a day, then I'm still like 4 Bible, I call it a Bible, but I'm four podcasts behind. But that's sort of time, again, that's time consuming. So rather than like sticking on a YouTube video, I'm listening to some Bible passages. So I do recommend it. I've never completed it before. I tried it 1 year and I sort of stopped around the 9-month mark, but it's like, it's 21st of December now, the end is in sight. It's been nice to prioritize listening to the Bible this year. And I'm not I'm not a super religious person. I'm not here to sway anybody's faith, but if you're curious or you just fancy some people like listening rather than reading, and it's nice to have the priest explain the meaning behind things and how the Old Testament links to the New Testament. It's and there's a lot of prepper references in the Bible. So if anyone wants a challenge for the new year, I do recommend it. Give it a go. And then on a separate note, things started going really well with our business this year, which is really positive. I'm glad that and they say consistency is key, so I'm really glad that the networking is starting to pay off, and the work I do on the social media is starting to pay off, and the connections we've made. I think that's really nice. And it's in a way like in the future that will buy our freedom, so working for ourselves rather than for anyone else. Long term, I would like to have more time freedom and do I think making YouTube videos is really fun. I really enjoy it, but it's not always a priority. So it would be nice to have more time for fun. I feel like I've not had tons of time for fun this year, compared to the year before, like more recreation time, but that's okay. It'll work out. It'll balance out. So that's kind of my 2024 roundup. Overall, it's been a great year, apart from some sad news about a family member. I was more flexible with the goals. Usually I set very hard goals, and then it can be disappointing when you don't achieve them. But I was more flexible, and I sort of trusted my gut a little bit more this year. And I really feel like things have worked out quite well overall. I really like planning. I get a kick out of planning. I think it's great. I will be filling out my Filofax refill as usual. I think I've been doing this for over 10 years now, so I do like my Filofax. I am a dinosaur and I like pen and paper, so it's just the way I operate. And then I have started creating my vision board for next year, and it's based on my goals. So my goals for 2025 is mostly around building bigger legs because I would love to compete. I'd love to compete next year. I think realistically, I need more time to build more muscle. I just need to be realistic. If I do get to compete, fantastic, and I'll share that with you. But probably looking at 2026. So yeah, just I work legs 4 days a week. I do upper once a week. I've made really good progress on leg press. I think the last time I mentioned it, I was pushing in and around 160 kg on leg press. I've now got that up to, my PB is, my personal best is 195 kg for about 6 reps, and it nearly killed me, but I did it. Form and depth wasn't great, but we did it, and the goal is to go to 200 kg, so I'm getting close. I'd say I'm probably a few weeks away from achieving that. And the other goal for 2024 is to grow the business that my partner and I have set up. There's no real prepper goals in there or self-sufficiency goals. I think on that side of things, I just want to keep going as I'm going. Keep the pantry well stocked, have enough time in the week to do a little bit in the garden, even if it's just a few raised beds, just to do something. 2025 is probably our last growing year at this house, and it will dictate what size the next house garden is. So we probably are looking at a smaller garden, because I've not used the garden enough here. That's the truth. So, but yeah, I still feel like it's the test. You use it or lose it sort of thing. I did win a really, really fantastic gardening journal in a raffle, in a charity raffle, which I thought was interesting. So I do believe everything happens for a reason. Maybe I was meant to win that. Maybe it was a sign. Who knows? But I love it. In theory, I love it, and I had been thinking about getting one, but it might give me the boost to be more organised in 2025 in the garden. So who knows? I'll keep you posted. I just want to say how grateful I am for you, for subscribing, for watching, for taking the time to comment and like my videos. The prepper community, both in the UK and worldwide, is just like so nice, so supportive. There's some like real good eggs. You know who you are. Massive thank you for the gifts I've received this year. People are just so kind, and for this like little small channel. Yeah, I really appreciate it. And I just wanted to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a very peaceful Christmas. I know it can be a tough time of year for lots of people for different reasons, especially if you've lost anyone in the last year. I'm thinking of you. Christmas can be tough, and it can be quite sort of a time. There's a lot of pressure to feel a certain way, and life doesn't always work out that way. I'll leave some useful links in the description. If you are struggling this year, do reach out, because there's people who can help. And if it is a tough time of year for you, it is one day. I know it's a special day, but it's not for everyone every year. Please take care of yourselves this season, mentally and physically. I'll wish you a fantastic new year, just in case I don't get another video out before the year ends. Anyway, just wanted to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a fantastic 2025. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Ooh, sugar. Just want to say how grateful I am for you for watching. Oh.